Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson you are going to create this screen. So I'm going to select this artboard 2 and we are going to duplicate this one. I will select it in the layer panel and then right click on the artboard 2, duplicate it. You will name this artboard 3, press OK. Now we need to remove many stuff from this artboard. Sorry, it is taking some time because we have a lot of files in these artboards. So now let's go and remove all of the profiles first. And then we will remove all of these charts. So we'll start with the profiles. Press on this one, shift, the last one, and then delete. We will remove this quick chat as well, the text. Then this one, press on it, shift and the first one, then remove all of them. Now let's remove the text above the menu, which is this one. I'll just select it like this and remove it. And now I'll move this up a bit. And then bring it down like this, make it bigger, make it to fill the frame. Then remove this button for the new message. And then the next thing, I'm going to bring some guidelines. We will put one over here. And then another one will be here. Then we'll get one to be here. We need these guides because I'm going to change this search icon and also the burger menu. The burger menu will be the back button and the search icon will be the dots for a menu. Okay, now I can go ahead and work with this one. I'm going to remove the middle one and then I will select these two. Press on the shift and select both of them like this. And then we need to make them shorter like this. And now we are going to rotate this one. Oh, sorry. Rotate it like this. Okay, keep it like this. And then double click. Then we'll go to the other one. Rotate it like this. Okay, keep it like this, double click on it, and now we will move it around. You want to make this arrow icon for the going back button. Okay, let's keep it like this for now. We'll go back to the search icon. I'll remove the handle first. And then I'll make this circle smaller. Then go to direct selection tool. And you are going to change the width of the stroke. Make something like this, 3.9 or 7, and make it smaller like this. Then you will duplicate it. I'm pressing on the Alt and move it down like this. I will just make sure that this circle is in the middle and the duration between them, the gap between the two sides is the same. Okay, let's keep it like this. As you can see, one of them is 6 pixels, one of them is 5 pixels. That's why I will move this up a bit or this down. Then now we have 6 by 6. Don't forget that you have your guides and snap tools open so you can see this pixels and stuff on the screen. Okay, now let's select all of them and I'll move it up a bit. And just like this, we created our back button, which is the arrow, and our 3 dots for the menu. One last thing I want to do, the gap between the back icon and also the wall of the frame, I want this gap to be similar to this one. So I'm going to move these. I'll move the guideline first and then I will select all of these dots and move it to the left side. Now we have these similar gaps. These 3 dots that we made, they're already in the search folder. I'm going to change the name for the search to more. Okay, and the next thing you're going to create is the profile. We're going to create this one. So we want to move this down a bit. Then I will go to the previous artboard that we created. I will select one of the profiles. Let's select this one. Make sure that you select the group itself and then copy and paste it over here. Now we have a profile and I can move it up to its place like this. Okay, so we want something like this. We want the name to be bigger and bolder, and then we need another text that says he was online this time ago. So the first thing I'm going to do is to change the color to the green, and then the color of the background to the gray or white, a bit grayish white like this. And then the name, we will change the color, make it dark like this, and then you will make it bold. Now go to the move tool and we will move it up a bit. Press on the Alt and bring it down like this. You made a copy out of it, and you're going to write he was online an hour ago. Then we need to make this regular and make it smaller, just like this, and align it with the name. We are trying to achieve something like this one. Okay, let's keep it like this. The next thing, I'm going to duplicate the background. We need to create the message area. For that, I'm going to Command J on the background. Now we made a copy and I will bring it down. And we need to change the color to the white. We want something like this. Okay, double click on the copy of the background that you created and get the color from here. Now we have a white that is a bit greenish, and we are okay with this. Okay, now we are done with this one. The next thing we are going to do is to create the profile and the message area, which is this one and this one. So for that, I'm going to duplicate this profile that we have, click on it, Command J, and then click on one of the handles, then move it like this. We're going to make it smaller, and also we need to remove the name. Sorry, I accidentally removed the picture as well. Make sure that you remove all of the text and keep it like this. We are good like this. I think I will adjust the photo, but not now. Let's now go ahead and change the name for the group. We will name it Chat Profile. And then now we can move it around. And then we will create this bubble for the text. But before I do that, I want to lock the background, which is this one. Lock it like this, then go to the rectangle tool, and we are going to create our bubble, just like this. Then we need to round the corners, but first change the color so we can see it. And we need to change the corners just like this. So one of the corners, the below left, we don't want it to be round, and all of others will be rounded. Now double click on the rectangle and change the color. Something like this. I'll make it a bit thicker like this. Adjust your shape just like this one and move it up. Now go to the properties, and now you will round the corners. Make sure they are connected first. Make it 48. Then disconnect them and this side you want to make it 0. And we will have something like this. Now let's move it to the left side a bit, just like this. And then we need to create our second profile. I'm going to duplicate this profile with the Command and J. Make sure that you select the group in the layer panel and then Command J. Now we duplicated it. And then one of the copies, select it, click on one of the handles and move it down like this. We will align it in the second line on the right, just like this. Okay, let's move it down a bit. And now let's copy the bubble, Command J, and bring it down, then right click on one of the handles and flip it horizontally. Now we need to align it with the profile, but I will bring it down a bit because it is too close to the other bubble. Then we will bring down the profile as well. Okay, let's change the color for this bubble. Make it this green. And I'm going to bring this profile down. Align it just like this with the bubble. We will do that for this one as well. Make sure that you select the group in the layer panel, select the group, and then move it down. Okay, keep it like this. The gap between the profile and the bubble should be the same for all the messages. I'll move this to the left a bit. Then Command and comma to bring the grid, or Control and comma, just like this. Now I'll make sure that the gap between this one and the bubble is similar to this one. As you can see, the gap is not similar. For that, I'm going to move this bubble to the left side a bit, just like this. Press on the Control and Command again to remove the grid. Now we need to change the profile picture. Make sure that you select the profile and then bring another portrait photo that we have in the resource folder. I'll move this one, move it inside the artboard, make it clip mask, and we are removing this one, then scale it down like this. Okay, let's keep it like this for now. The next thing, we are going to duplicate this bubble, the green one. We need something similar to this one. So we need two messages. And then we will create the rest. I'll duplicate this, press on the Alt and drag it down like this. The gap between them should be something like this. And then the next thing, I'm going to duplicate the first profile again to create the other messages. So I'm going to select this one in the layer panel and then Command J to duplicate it. Then click on one of the handles and bring it down like this. I don't know, for some reasons my guidelines are removed. I'm going to bring them again. I'll just bring one of the lines over here. Yeah, and keep it like this. Now we will go to the message. I will duplicate it, press on the Alt and bring it down. Make sure that the gap between them is similar. The gap that you have between the third and the second message should be similar between the first and the second one. Now select on the profile in the layer panel, click on one of the handles, and then move it down like this using the arrow tools. Okay. And now for the message area, we are going to make it bigger, just like this. We want to put a photo in this message, that's why I'll make it like this. We have some issue with the alignment of the messages. I'm going to bring some guidelines like this. And then I'm going to align these messages together. Just do exactly what I do to align your messages. I'll move this a bit to the right side. Then I need to move these also to the left side. I think we moved them too much. We need to align them with the other one. Move it to the right a bit. It should be aligned with the beginning of the first message. Something like this. And then I'll remove this one. I'll duplicate this again, move it down. Make sure that the gap is similar between them. Just like this. And then we will make it bigger. The size is good. Go to the properties. We are going to change this one to 48 as well. We will make it round for all of the 4 corners. Just like this. And then the next thing, I'm going to duplicate this profile, the lady's profile. Make sure that you select it in the layer panel. Then Command J. And now move it down. Let's keep it like this, and I'm going to duplicate one of these message areas. I press on the Alt and Shift together to move it. I just want to make sure that the gap is similar. As you can see, these pink guidelines are telling us the number of the pixels between them. You just move it and it will appear like this. Okay, now they are similar. So you want to make a voice message, something similar to this one. And I know we need to add another text to the above one, but we will do it later. Let's now work on this voice message. I will select the profile and bring it down, just like this. Now let's bring the audio wave. It's available in the resource folder. As you can see, we cannot do it because we have this group selected. You have to double click on it to deselect, and then we can now move this inside our artboard. Make it smaller, make sure it fits inside this message. Just like this. Then double click on it. And now you will create the audio area. You can create it yourself. Make an ellipse. Disable the fill. Enable the stroke. Make it something like this. And then you will change the color to white. We can move it over here. Oh, sorry. Select it. And then we will move it just like this. Obviously, we need to increase the size of the stroke. Make it something like this. Then we can make a triangle. I will use the polygon tool. One click in the screen, change the sides to 3, and then press OK. You will have a triangle like this. We will make it smaller and fit it inside this circle. Like this, we will create our play button. But if you don't want to do this, we have this icon ready for you in the resource folder. Okay, now we will go to the folder that we have. In the resource folder, if you go to the icons, you have the play button, which is this one. You can just use this one if you want to. And I'm going to use this one. Let's remove the other one. As you can see, they are similar, only the width of the stroke is different. So I'll just put this over there. Sometimes it's getting tricky to select stuff inside the artboard or the work area. So make sure to be patient or use the layer panel to select them. Okay guys, now we need to create this area. But before I do that, I will move this profile and the message together. I'll move them down because we need to duplicate or to make another message over it. So I will move this all together. Make sure you click on one of the handles and move it down like this. Then we need to select all of these together and move them down just like this. Then move the icon down. Okay, now I will duplicate this message and bring it under this one. Okay, and now I'll move this up and make sure that the gap between them is similar. Okay, keep it like this. Now we need to select the profile again and move it up. And then the audio wave and the play button. As you can see, sometimes it is hard to select small objects inside your work area. You can zoom in and try to select like this, or you can select them in the layer panel. Okay, now the next thing we are going to do is to create the other message. I want to duplicate this profile, select it in the layer panel, and then Command J and bring it down. Make sure you select it, click on one of the handles that you have, and then move it just like this. I'll keep it over here, and then double click or enter, then duplicate this one and move it over here. Make sure that the gap is similar. Now I need to adjust this with the message bubble. We need to align it to be similar to the others. And then we are going to duplicate the audio wave. Select it and then press on the Alt and duplicate it like this. Sorry, we duplicated the background. We need to duplicate the audio wave just like this. Move it down. And then we will duplicate the audio button as well. Sorry. Just like this. I pressed on the Alt to duplicate it. Okay, we'll keep it like this. Make sure it's in the middle. And then for the audio wave, I will add the color overlay. And I will change the color to the green and see how it looks like. Okay, this one is not working. I'll keep it white. Keep it like this. Now we need to create the other area, which is this one, the message area. We are going to create all of this. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a rectangle. Something like this. And then we will change the color to this color. Okay, and then I'm using the arrow tools to fit it in the right place. Something like this will be good. The next thing, we'll create the message area where you write your message. You'll do it over here. So you want something similar to this one. For that, I'm going to use the rectangle tool. Create something just like this. Something like this will be good. Then we will round the corners, connect them, and then round the corners like this. And now we need to fit it in the right place. And then I'll press on the Alt to duplicate it and move it to the right side. Then we need to make this smaller. You also can create a circle if you want to. We'll make this place for the audio, the voice record. Okay, now we will bring the icons. I'll go to the icon folders. We have this mic. We'll put it over this circle. Sorry. We need to move it in the layer panel as well. Move it above this circle. Make it smaller. Fit it inside the circle. Just like this. Now we need to bring the other icons that we have. Now we have the smile icon. We are going to put it inside the message area. Okay, and the other icon that we have, it will be file or attachment icon. Make sure the size is similar to the smile icon. And then we will move it to the other side. Okay, perfect. Now I want to add the drop shadow to the white background that we have. Make sure that you unlock it like this. Double click on it and add the drop shadow. Now we are going to play with the settings for the drop shadow. Okay, make something like this. Press OK. And then the next thing, I want to arrange things in the layer panel. So first thing, I will go to the profiles that we have. We have the chat profiles. Just close them. I'm going to change the name for this one, big profile. Okay, I made it big profile photo. This one is Khaled. This one is Khaled. And this chat profile is Khaled as well. And the other two will be Nivin. You can also see them in the artboard when you click them. Okay, now let's move to the message area, the place that you write your messages. I'll just find them. Okay, they're over here. We have the mic, we have this circle, we have the attach, we have the smile. I'll just name this text area and then select all of them together. We have this one also, it's a background. Now I'm going to select all of these, this one, and all of these. Press shift to select all of them, by the way, and Command G to group them together. Now I can name this text area. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to name the text bubbles. Okay, we have the bubbles. This one is for the Khaled. This one also. I will name this K1. And then I will move them up and down. This one will be K2. And then this one will be K3. Then we have this one. Okay, let's see the other stuff. We have this play button, it should be above it. Then I'll go and find the wave, the audio wave. Not this one, it's the other one, this one. Put it above this text bubble. Select all of them together, group them, Command G, and I will name this Command 4. When I make a group, I hide and show just to make sure that the right things are in that group. Now let's name this N1. This is for the Nivin. This one will be N2. This play button and this one. Then we need the other audio wave. I'll move it down. Then I will move this over here and then bring the end down, then select all of them together and group them. Then I will name this N3. Perfect, now we arranged most of the things in the layer panel. The last thing that I want to do is to change the name of the burger menu. We will change it to the back because now it is the back icon. And like this, we arranged everything in the layer panel. The next thing we are going to do is to add text to our messages. For that, I'm going to use the text tool and create a text box like this. And we are going to move over here. By the way, when you create a text box, Photoshop will automatically put some text for you, which is the lorem imposum. It's an alien language. We don't want all of this text. I will remove some of it. And then we will change the color. Select all of it and change the color to dark, black, just like this. And now we will duplicate this, press on the Alt and move it to the other message. We need to remove some of it. I'll remove it from here. Okay, something like this will be good. Then fit it in the middle. Okay, now let's duplicate it and make some other text in this one. And then for this area, I'll bring and put a photo. We have this photo of the cat. You can find it in your photo portraits. I'll move it over this text bubble and clip mask it just like this. Now the photo is appearing only in the bubble. And then we will fit it just like this inside the bubble. Double click and we are done. Now I will duplicate this text and put it on this one. And then I'll just adjust this wave and the play button. Just like this, all of the text bubbles now have content in it. They have text, they have audio waves, and also they have photos. Now the next thing, we are going to create the icons for delivery. When your message delivers, they have this icon like Nike logo. I don't know what they call it in English, I just forgot it. But we are going to create it now. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. And we are going to create a very small rectangle just like this one. And we need to round the corners, make sure it is connected. Then I'm going to duplicate this one. Press on the Alt or Command and J to duplicate it. Then move it to the side. We are going to make it smaller. And then we will rotate this just like this to make the icon. Okay, I'll make this also a bit shorter. Just make sure that it's in the right place. Something like this is good. Now I'm going to select them in the layer panel, or select both of them and rotate it just like this. And then we need to group them over here, Command J. And then we are going to convert it to the smart object, right click on it, and then convert it to the smart object. Now we can duplicate this one, Command J to duplicate, and you can name it anything. I will name it red. And this one also will be red. Anyway, let's move one of them up, just like this. You want it like this. But then for this one, I want to remove a side from it. I'll just select it. Select it like this. Then press remove to remove it. But the object is smart object, we need to rasterize it. Right click and rasterize. Then remove it like this. Now I want to remove a bit more from it. I want to have this gap between them, just like this. And here we go, we created our red icon. Now I will select both of them and we are going to group them together and make them one layer. You can also immediately convert them to the smart object, just like this. Then in the layer styles, we'll give it color overlay. And now we will change it to the dark gray. I mean dark green, not gray. Something like this will be good. But still, there is something that is off about this icon. I will just select it and double click on it to open the smart object layer. And now I'll use the crop tool to make the document a bit bigger so we can make some changes over here. Okay, keep it like this. Now I want to move this down just like this. Carefully move it and make sure that you have the gap between them. Just like this one. Now press Ctrl S or Command S to save it. And like this we created our beautiful icon. I'll move it over here, then go to the text tool and we are going to write the time. It will be 5:30 p.m. We need to make the box of the text bigger. Make sure that you are in the text tool and then like this we will make the text box bigger. Now we need to change the size of the text as well. Make it small just like this. Change the color to gray. And now I will make the box smaller just to fit the text. And move it over here. I'll make it a bit bigger. And this one we need to move it, make it a bit smaller. Something like this will be good. Let's zoom out and see. Okay, we are good. Now I will select both of these. Command G to group them together. And then we will rename it to red. Now we can select this one, Command J to duplicate it. And then we will move it down. Oh, sorry. Command J to duplicate. We obviously didn't duplicate it. And then move it down. But then don't forget that you need to select your group and click on one of the handles and move it like this. Otherwise, you will be selecting some of the items inside the group, not the group itself. Now we did this as well. I will just change the time. Make it 38. Now we are going to duplicate this again. Select the group in the layer panel, Command J to duplicate. And then make sure that you click in one of the handles and move it down. We'll move it over this message. Not this one, but this one. These are for the Nivin messages. Double click, we can change the time if you want. Double click on the time, 38, we'll make it 40 or something. Make it 50. Okay, I forgot to put a space between the PM and 50. Make sure that you have the gap between them. Okay guys, now we are done with our delivery stuff, but the delivery and the red icon should be on the Khaled side, not the Nivin side. For myself, I put it on the Nivin side. It was a mistake, so you can move them to the Khaled side because when you send a message, it will appear if it's red or not. not the other way around. Anyways, this was the end of this lesson. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. In the next lesson, we will be creating our fourth screen, and I will see you there. Bye bye.